Hello everyone, Namaste from India. I'm Prashant Kamble and I'm a documentary filmmaker and researcher, and I will be presenting today on mobile filmmaking in pandemic. First of all, before starting my session, I would like to thank you all who have joined here for this today's session, and I especially thanks to OMIF, African Women Mobile International Film Festival organizers, who have provided me this spectacular platform to express my thoughts on mobile filmmaking. So, before I begin my session, let me clear some things. There are some things I will be explaining in the context of Indian film industry, because I'm working for this industry, so I know better about this industry. So I will be explaining in that context. But it can be generalized. It's not out of out of this world. I mean, this phenomena is in the entire the world. Okay, and I guess every film industry as at all, they are very similar to each other. So just some of things I will be explaining in the Indian film industry's context. Okay, so let's begin for the session. Firstly, uh, I will be showing you some slides also. During this social session is going on, so you will have a better idea. What I'm talking about, and you will have these pointers to just to clear that where am I and what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's start this session. Okay. So first thing is filmmaking. So when we heard of filmmaking, then we, any one of us will imagine cameras, lights, and actors, then big sets, and then maybe some of us will imagine, a lot of money, then a lot of money invested in that, and then the celebrities lifestyle, then how they do, how media portrays them, like, blah blah blah. But here we are talking about just filmmaking. We are not talking about uh, the things uh, which is not related to filmmaking. Okay, we are talking about very basic thing is filmmaking. So what is filmmaking? Filmmaking is a telling stories through the lenses. Okay. Now, why I'm talking here through lenses? Because whatever we see, if you see any film, then what do you see? You see pictures, audio visuals, basically. So, video is also and pictures only. So that is not some different thing. Okay. So, telling stories through lenses. Okay. And what we go through three stages of filmmaking. You must be knowing, you might be well aware of it. There's first is pre-production. In the pre-production, we plan everything. We finalize our idea, then we develop our screenplay, we develop our storyboard, then we plan when to shoot, how to shoot, with what actor we are going to, you know which actor are going to act in our film, then how it will be, what will be the storytelling idea, how we are going to shoot, where we are going to shoot, everything. So, and after this was the very first pre-production. Then after this comes is production. In the production, we go on set, like the location, basically, and we shoot with the camera, with the equipment, with the technicians. Then we with our crew, and we shoot everything whatever we wanted to portray on camera through lenses, basically, as I you know uh, I told you previously. So that we record, and then comes the last and final stage of filmmaking is post production. In the post production, we edit our film, whatever we shot in production. Then we sit at the editing table, and then we arrange it in proper manner, how whatever however we want, and then we proceed with it. And then comes the distribution, then the release, then publicity, and everything. You must be knowing about all these things. So here in the filmmaking, as per my knowledge, or if you, or you can say, as per me, uh, story is very uh, important thing here, because if you don't have uh, if you don't have a good story of or story to tell, then your uh, your film must be, maybe your film is very high on budget. Maybe you may invest lakhs of rupees or crores of rupees, but you don't have story to tell, or story which has been told in a proper manner, where audience has to relate to your story. Then only your film becomes successful. Or we can see plenty of films which are high on budget, which don't have this kind of you know stories, and they don't have convincing stories to it, but they do have more budget. They sometimes do work also, but most of them didn't work. Okay, and that is why I'm telling that story of your film has to be very primary thing when we think about filmmaking. Then after your story, your storytelling style, I mean, how you are going to tell your story. I mean, it has to be a linear way, or non-linear way. So that is also we have to keep in mind when we are talking about filmmaking, because you know uh, what the new filmmakers, what they do is, they shoot their films, and then when they come to edit part, then they mess up there. I mean, I have seen many of filmmakers, they have shot everything in a proper manner, in a good manner, but they at the editing table they are not that good. I mean, and how they were no enthusiast at the starting of that, at the pre-production, they were very enthusiastic. I mean, how they are going to do, I mean, how our film will be, how our that will be, and after they shot everything and they come to editing table, then their energy goes down. And so that is very that's very important in filmmaking. When we finalize our story, then we have to finalize how you are going to tell your story through lenses, which scene will come where, how as uh, you know my last session, I mean, uh, before this, we have done our session on research in filmmaking. So here the part research comes in, when it is coming to storytelling. Then that there's many part actually, but I'll explain one very little part. Then when we are talking about storytelling, then we have to ensure that how our character will be. So if you write your character well in uh, your script, or you can explain to your artist how your character will enact at which situation, how they will walk, how they will talk. So that we have to research first, because see, if you know how your character will be, then you can portray it very well on the screen. So that is why I'm saying that storytelling style is very essential part, and we should not ignore it when it is come to filmmaking. Okay. So these things are about filmmaking. That these are in general filmmaking. Now we'll move to mobile filmmaking, and we'll see what is the mobile filmmaking is basically. Okay. So if we heard of mobile filmmaking, then we uh, uh, I mean, I don't need to tell you all that mobile filmmaking is whatever we shot on mobile. Okay. So mobile filmmaking is basically whatever we shot on mobile, and we edit it and we publish it. And today mobile filmmaking is very easy to accessible, and I guess every one of us, from the be it of any age, from from childrens to of our age, or maybe older age people, they are also using this filmmaking. And mobile filmmaking, I mean, is very similar to mainstream filmmaking. This is also a way of telling your stories, and through mobile, I mean, through lenses only. Okay. And so I just remember when we were in schools, and we were, if we heard of films, then we were thinking that there has to be very big cameras, then big sets, and these artists will be like that, and they are like this. So that this is these things when we were in schools, and we were thinking that if we wanted to shoot our film, then we probably need a very big cameras, which you know which costs in thousands and lakhs. Okay. But and then when when we came up in colleges, in our teenagers, and then after that, then the DSLR coming. I mean, DSLR has been introduced, and DSLR made filmmaking bit easier for common people, because what happens is, when the DSLR came in, at that time, there are many individual filmmakers, and most of it at that time has a backup of funders from the government institutions. And at that time, government was promoting these things actually. They At that time, certainly, in India, there was only one channel, that is Doordarshan, and that is a national TV channel. And there was only one channel we have to see at that time, when we were in schools and colleges. So after DSLR came in, then the filmmaking became very easier to other people who were interested in filmmaking. And filmmaking became affordable, basically not much affordable, but kind of affordable to uh, the enthusiast of filmmaking. then uh, now mobile has been introduced. Once the mobile has been introduced, mobile was not does not have this kind of features. I mean, they do have only telephonic purpose. and messaging purpose. But after smartphone came in, then then it's very very changing. I mean, it's very life changing thing for the films actually, because then when smartphone came, then there's many of features came in, like uh, then there's uh, for every sector there's something in the smartphone, like if we talk about banking, if we talk about education, if we talk about anything, you can say anything, and whatever you need you probably get on the mobile. Okay. So uh, but our main motto is to tell these things is, when mobile came in, mobile certainly has a camera, but uh, we never know that this camera can be used for the films. I mean, to shoot a film in a particular manner and to release it like mainstream films. But certainly, after development in smartphones, it made possible to every filmmaker, or every person, uh, we should say, because nowadays every person have their own smartphone, and they can shoot whatever they want, whenever they want, and wherever they want. Okay. and and that is why mobile filmmaking is very accessible to everyone. And maybe that is why we are talking about the mobile filmmaking here today, because it's very personal to every person. Okay. Then we'll talk about gears of the filmmaking. If we see gears of mobile filmmaking, then uh, these gears are very affordable. You know, we can get it on uh, any shopping sites at maybe from 15 to $20 it costs. Be it's stabilizers, be it's lenses, be it's lights, microphones. So these are very affordable, because if you see film cameras, film sets, film lights, and film equipments basically, so they cost in lakhs, and no one wants to invest lakhs when they can do it at very affordable costs. And because it is very affordable to pockets, we don't have to think about budgets here when it comes to mobile filming. Of course, there are some expenses uh, which are unavoidable, but if you specifically talk about main thing is, we of course we need equipments to shoot better. We need lights, of course. We need microphone to record proper voice, proper dialogues. So that we can afford now because of mobile filmmaking. And main thing is, uh, when it comes to budget, the main thing is nowadays there's many editing applications also available on smartphone, in Google Play Store. If you just search editing tools, then there are many editing tools where you can edit your films in the mobile only. You don't have to go on laptop and edit it differently. You have to just shoot it in your mobile phones, and you have to edit it in your phone only. So that convenience also is there. And the other part of mobile filmmaking is very important. That is, In mobile filmmaking, basically, we can I have observed that you know they if you talk about mainstream films, they are very choosy in terms of stories, in terms of topics they have to tell their audiences. There are many filmmakers or many producers who don't want to show certain don't want to talk about certain things, whichever it is. Maybe uh, they they wanted to show only whatever they wanted to, but there are many things which are has to be on 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 the portrayal of film. It has to be, tell society that that is how it is. So that is what mobile filmmaking is doing today, because they are telling the story which has been which hasn't told by anyone. If you take example of subjects like menstruation, then subjects like uh, if you talk about in India, there are very brutal rituals also are there. So there has to be, then superstitions things. Subject has to be show now, and now we have to come up with this kind of because mobile filmmaking is very accessible. Like if you wanted to shoot, then you can just take out your mobile from your pocket and you can just shoot it. Okay, and that can be used in your films. So that is why I am telling that this is very accessible. You don't have to uh, you don't have to plan for your shoot. You don't have to rent. Like for the films, what we do is we have to plan, because uh, there are huge amount of money invested. So we have to first plan when we are shooting, and we have to call for the equipments, and we have to call for this thing, that thing, plenty of plannings in there. But in mobile filmmaking, if you are not prepared, you can still shoot. And that is why I'm telling that uh, uh, when it comes to mobile filmmaking, we can tell plenty of stories which are untold and which are very personal to personal to a persons. And there are many stories in the society which are still untold. I mean, be it in 21st century, but they are still unexplored. So, and that is why I said that there are many stories which are still untold, and that can be only told by maybe a mobile filmmakers only, because big filmmakers who are very choosy in their topics of films. So that can be done only by mobile filmmakers. Okay. uh, then we'll move to pandemic and films. If we talk about pandemic, then we all know that pandemic has very drastic effects on everyone's life. You know, if we talk about in India, there are many use cases. Sometimes India was at leading in the cases of corona, but that is a different thing. But you know a pandemic has affected every sector. Like if you talk about education sector, if you talk about banking sector, you know every constructions, then everything. I mean, most probably construction workers also, then daily wage workers has affected the more. I mean, there's this kind of situation that the people who have come here to work in the cities, they were returning to their villages by walking, and that is very drastic thing. I mean, people have suffered a lot, and that is happening to every sectors like others. So, and if we will talk about film industry, then of course the film industry where thousands and maybe 2000 films release in every year, and which has $1 billion economy, that had stopped at in the time of corona, in the time of this pandemic, and that is stopped, and no one knows that when this film industry will start working, and when we will go on set, and when we'll shoot. So, and if we talk about the specifically about the workers who are working in the film industry, then they have also drastically affected. Like, there are many people's has to do some other work rather than their they are working, like they were working in films, but after this pandemic and everything happened, they have to change their field, and maybe they have gone for a specific time, but I guess many of them are have gone for permanent also. So that is also happened, and there are many of films, I mean, which are in production. They have to stop their shooting, and that shooting has stopped for, I mean, with no consent. I mean, and they do not have idea when they are going to shoot it again, when they are, so, and films like have budget of millions of rupees, they also have suffered a lot, and you know but some of the films which are ready to release, they are also stopped their release, and there's theaters also not working to release these films. So some of them have released on OTT platforms. And nowadays, we can see nowadays that these OTT platforms are booming. Every other day we came to see that there's some new OTT platforms came up. So yeah, that is also good. I mean, that is also good for this kind of filmmakers also, for the mobile filmmakers also, because there are some OTT platforms also which gives platforms to mobile filmmakers also. They do not have consent, like you have to shoot only on film camera or whatever it is. But yeah, that is also good. OTT platforms also booming now, and the filmmakers now became very what do you say? They become very conscious now. Like they has to plan very consciously. Like in India, there's first wave came, then second wave came, then third wave came. Third wave hasn't came yet. Second wave came. Uh, so and the lockdown is kept postponing. Like people were thinking that lockdown will open by month, but it goes on for 2 months, then it goes on for 3 months, and people has to sit at home. So uh, but there are some films and the filmmakers which has to think of their products, because of course, if we talk about films, then there's no only one person, there's many person who are dependent on them, right? There are many technicians who are working it for their daily wages. So that is how a film industry is also affected by the pandemic. Okay. Talk about filmmakers. So there are many filmmakers who started mobile filmmakings also. There are some of Indian filmmakers also. They have made their films on mobile. So yeah, there's some. If we talk about the filmmakers now, so I observed that there's some positive things also happen and some negative things also happen. If you ask me what negative things have happened is that is I've told you before that there many people has to leave film industry maybe for a specific time or maybe for permanently also. But because everything is locked down and people were isolated at their home, I mean, and nothing is physically open. So at that time there are many things going on online on the internet. There's many institutions who are coming up with the filmmaking courses, filmmaking workshop, a screenplay writing workshop. Some of them are providing mobile filmmaking courses also. So as I said that there's everything available on the mobile. So because of that, people were at home only, and some people who wanted to try new, so they were also enrolled in this kind of filmmaking workshop, and they were some of some enthusiasts of it actually started filmmaking. So that positive thing also happened in this so-called negative time, we can we can say. So because of that, the new idea also came. I mean, how new filmmakers came in with them, and new ideas of filmmaking, how new creativities of filmmaking, like how we can shoot, I mean, where we can shoot, and there's many things certainly happen, first time in the films. So and with these filmmakers, they are not just a filmmakers, not just a short filmmakers. There are documentary filmmakers also. There are writers also. There are there are actors also. I mean, there are many new people came in, and that happened in the pandemic. And then will we'll move ahead to see features of mobile filmmaking. So if we talk about features of mobile filmmaking, the first very important feature is it's cost effective. Why am I talking cost effective? Is because nowadays everyone has their own cell phone or own smartphone with the internet facility. Okay, and these are very when they were introduced first time, they were not that affordable. But nowadays, because everyone have their own cell phone and investing in that, now they became very affordable to everyone, and they coming up with the new features. Like if you talk about specifically about filmmaking features, then there's EIS also available there, OIS also available in the mobile only. Then there's multiple cameras also available in the smartphone. So nowadays how technology is developing, now this mobile filmmaking is also growing. Like if you see nowadays also, if some of the filmmakers who have made their films on the mobile, then they have to purchase a lenses. You can see it on the shopping website. They have to purchase a different lenses, smaller lenses for the different scenes. But now what happened, now the mobile companies have started started giving multiple cameras in the cell phone only. So you don't have to purchase that single lenses for the different scenes. You can just take out your camera and start shooting. So that cost effectiveness also came here. Then the cost effective about gears, as I have explained before. The gears are very cheap. The cheap will be a very uh, very wrong word, but they are very affordable to everyone's pocket, and they are very useful actually to use it, you know. And when we are talking about the cost cutting, then uh, of course this this is very important aspect to cost cutting, you know. And if you cost cutting budget, then that is not that is good. That budget you can divert it to another things, you know. Maybe in editing or whatever, wherever you are. So that is why I was saying that doing mobile filmmaking is very cost effective if you are in terms of your budget. It is very cost effective to do mobile filmmaking, because I have seen many mainstream filmmakers who actually did their films on mobiles like iPhone 8, iPhone 5s, and they have their they didn't just shoot their film, they also release their films in theaters also. There are some films are also premiered in Sundance Film Festival, then Berlin International Film Festival. So these kind of films also can be shoot on the mobile, and that is why I've said the very important feature of mobile filmmaking is it is very cost effective, you know. Then the other feature is it is very easy to access, you know. Nowadays everyone has a smartphone, and everyone knows how to use it. Even if you ask your any toddler also, so they also know how to operate a smartphone, and they also can just go on YouTube and see whatever they want. I mean, I have seen many toddlers doing it. So that is a different part, but I was saying it is very accessible to operate by anyone. Like it is not something. It is not kind of science to learn it. It is very easy and basic thing to access your smartphone, and you know. There are some some filmmaking, some rules of filmmaking, we can say, like how to take a shot, and where to just telling your artist where to look, and proper stylizing your frames, and these important things are also there. But yeah, mobile filmmaking is not is it doesn't restrict anyone to do it. Anyone who wanted to make a film with their phone, they can do it. And we can see many content creators nowadays. They what they do is they just create content, and they put it on YouTube, put it on TikTok. Then there are many platforms are there. So what they are doing, they are also filming only, na. They are also doing mobile filmmaking, but uh, we some uh, something we does not uh, what we say, uh, we does not include them in filmmaking, because what is filmmaking is to tell your stories, you know, or tell stories of somebody or tell story of someone, you know. So that is why they are also content creators, but they are creating content which are not filmmaking basically. Okay, then we'll move ahead and see another feature of mobile filmmaking. So the third feature of mobile filmmaking is it is kind of limitless. I mean, if we say limitless, then the mobile filmmaking has no limit. Okay, if you, as I told you before, that if I wanted to shoot film at any particular time, then I can do it. Okay, I don't want, I don't need to plan it for very long, or I don't need to, you know, call a big crew to shoot. You know? So if I think that this is the good content and I can do a short film on this, so I can just go and just shoot it. So, and the another thing is the locations. When the big film is shot, then what happens is they require some spaces, like they have big cameras, they have some another equipments also, like they have big lights also, they have projectors also, they have many screens also. So they, what they need is they need big spaces when they are shooting. Okay, and when you are shooting on mobile, then you don't need that kind of spaces actually. You don't need the big crew to shoot with you or help you in filmmaking. So that is why mobile filmmaking is very limitless. I mean, there are no such limitations in mobile filmmaking. Huh. There's one point I have to add here, that when the lockdown is happened, at that time people, some creative peoples wanted to shoot a short film, or they wanted to show their stories. So what they did is they have shot films at their home only. So lockdown also couldn't limit this mobile filmmaking. They simply, what they did is they shot it on their cell phone at their home, and they edit it on cell phone, and they put it on the internet or whatever platform they wanted to. So that is why I'm saying that mobile filmmaking is very limitless, and it has no limitation of anything. I mean, uh, yeah, there are some things, like if you are wanted to do some VFX thing, or some, you know, some this kind of things, then you probably wanted to shoot it on uh, you know, higher specifications smartphones like iPhone, or you know. Yeah, there are some uh, uh, there are some mobiles, you know, some mobile provides a good camera quality, like their pictures are very sharp, and they have more megapixels camera. So yeah, there are, but the mobile filmmaking is not just creating a good looking content. It means that you have to tell your original and story, which are very personal to you, which are very impactful, and which will relate to your audience, and that is main motto of mobile filmmaking, uh, as I think so. And that is why I was saying that it is very personalized. You know, if you if you see mobile filmmaking, so in the mobile filmmaking, we as I have also seen some short films which are created by mobile filmmakers, but the one thing I have noticed that they are very personal actually. They are uh, very much portrayal of their personal thoughts, their own storytelling. You know, they are what you say. They are very experimenting actually in the filmmaking, and I haven't seen some big filmmakers also doing it, because experimenting with something is very crucial actually at some point of time. Like if I'll give you example, if I'm doing if I'm doing some big films like with a big budget, and then I can't experiment with that because a heavy budget invested in that, okay. And if I wanted to experiment in my mobile film, then I can do it, because these films has these films does not have a big budget now. I mean, the big films which has a big budget, they what their main motto is to recover their budget, okay. They are investing it in it because they want their revenue back, right? But in mobile filmmaking, the our main motto is to tell your story through mobile, or through lenses, as we said. So that is the main features I think, as per me. Then after this we'll move ahead, and we'll see uh, yeah. Yeah. After that, we'll move ahead and see mainstream films and mobile films. So, if you talk about mainstream films, they are very big budgeted, and they are, as I said, they are very revenue oriented actually, and their main intention is to create revenue, because they are as I said, they are running the economy, and that is what I think main their main motto is. And mobile filmmaking is not like that. Mobile filmmaking is just tell your story how you want it, and wherever you want it. Like if you are talking about any subject, any topic, that is fine with the mobile filmmaking. But if you are talking uh, some some subjects which are not expectable or acceptable by some of the things, or some of the if I say some of countries, or some people, then it will affect their revenue of mainstream films. But with the mobile filmmaking, that does not happen, because mobile filmmaking is, as I said, it is kind of limitless, and it is very this is very great feature of it. And after that, if we talk about mobile filmmaking, then mobile filmmaking is very quick process actually. While mainstream films are planned for years, and uh, they are very uh, they are very crucial process in the mainstream films. Like they have to see investors, they have to uh, you know then the investor thinking of how they will return their revenue, and then the creative parts, and then there are many things which are going on. But with the mobile filmmaking is, as I said, one person also can do it. You don't need a big team to work on this. If you are hiring some professionals, that is good for your films. That is not an issue. But yeah, you don't need a big crew for this. If you know how to shoot, if you know what to shoot, and if you know how to edit, then that is fine. You can do a mobile filmmaking, and that is why I have said before also, this is very accessible thing actually. And if you talk about future of mobile filmmaking, then I think mobile filmmaking has a bright future in some years, as we see. First, I have said that when we were in schools, we were thinking of, if we wanted to make a film, then we might have to get a big camera. Then the DSLR came after some years, and then mobile came after some years. So, what happened is that big camera has been replaced by DSLRs, and digital cameras, and then after some times, maybe digital cameras can be, you know, uh, digital ca- and then the digital cameras can be replaced by cell phones also. Now that is that the things we can see now, because technology is developing day by day, and this is very good thing actually for the mobile filmmakers. And mobile filmmaking, I think, has no limit, and I think it has a bright future. you know yeah. And that is what I think about mobile filmmaking. uh, you know I think you all had made a uh, good films also. And I saw some films yesterday on Omif YouTube channels also, and they are very good actually. They are very content oriented films, and they are very good films, which has done a good research, then good filmmaking. And yeah. And one more last point I have to add. So there are as I have mentioned, there are many filmmakers who mainstream filmmakers basically, they have done films on mobiles also. So I will recommend some films to you, just to see, and just to learn about mobile filmmaking, so you can just implement these things what they have done in their films. So let me just see. I don't remember their names, but I will just I'll show you uh, image, uh, uh, image of that film. The very first film is named as Tangerine. This film is by Sean Baker, who has directed it. Yeah. And this is very a good film actually. This is very creative approach done by Sean Baker. And then after that, there's another film named Ghost, and this film is by Anthony James. This is also completely shot on iPhone, and this is very good film actually, very well shot. And if you see it, you didn't even believe that it has shot on mobile phones. Yeah. After this, there's one more film named as Unseen, that is directed by Steven Soderbergh, and this is also a good film. And these films only, as I have told you before, that there are some films which has screened at Berlin Film Festival and Sundance Film Festival. So some of them are from these films only. So yeah, I think this will be this is enough for this session. And I think you may have enjoyed this session, and this was very informational for you. Or and if you wanted to ask any question, then you can ask, and I will reply you soon. Yeah. Thank you, and thank you again for joining me here on my session. And I'll thank again to OMIF team for organizing this such a wonderful Mobile International Film Festival, and we'll see such a good film and such a good events in the future from OMIF. Thank you so much.